Welcome everyone. The agenda for today's training is talking about the PID, process ID, parent process ID, what is the PS command in Unix, shell background and foreground jobs, shell control operators, standard input, output, error concepts, and here document and here string. So let's get started. In Unix, every command you run or any any sequence of commands you run, they are all associated with a PID, process ID. And in order to check the process ID of anything, you have to run a command called PS. Okay. Now the PS command will show you this output, and you can see the PID of any specific process or command. PID of any specific command is mentioned. For example, there are two unedit open here which has this PID, and every time the PID would be unique. You cannot you cannot see duplicate PIDs, and every PID will also have a parent uh, PID as well, which I will also show you later on how to check that. So this is a basic idea about PS command. So what I will do, I will open um, X term. This is the X term, and you can see when I clicked enter after I put ampersand sign, which is for the background job. I will explain what is that later. Here, this is the process ID, PID of this xterm, and this is the job ID number. So if I run the command again, the PS command, now you can see that the process ID 18964 has been also shown here. And yeah, this is the command which I just gave. Okay, that's how you can check any PID. Now let me show you how you can check the parent process ID. So it's simple, you have to run ps-f command. ps-f command would show you the PID and also the PPID, the parent ID, right? So the second column is PID and third column is PPID, and this is the detailed command. So here xterm you can see the PID is this, and the PPID or the parent ID is 13611. 13611 is the PID of bash. So that's how you can know whether what is the parent ID of this job, which is this bash terminal itself. Okay, and now let's check what all other child IDs are present for this bash. So we can run ps hyphen hyphen, okay, ppid, and then give the PID of the bash like that. So if you hit enter, you can see there are actually three child IDs, which are two unedit and one xterm for this parent bash, and you can see the same thing here as well. Xterm has the same PPID. These two unedit also have the same PPID, which is bash PID. That's how we can check. Okay, and this is the concept of PID and PPID. Now I will show you what is the foreground job. So the foreground job is any job which you run or any Unix command you run without ampersand. For example, if I run a sleep command or run by for 2 seconds, so this command is running for 2 seconds, and you can see when you run this command for let's say 6 seconds, in the foreground because there is no ampersand written in the front. So if I hit enter for the 6 seconds, you can see the you cannot this shell is really reserved and you cannot type anything on the shell. And after that, once the command is finished, you can see the shell is also free. Okay, do more experiment on it. So this time I will run this command, same command for let's say 100 seconds. Okay, I hit enter. So when I hit, so what do you notice when you run a foreground job? Then there is no PID shown on the terminal, right? Just like when you add a ampersand with the background job, you can see the job ID. Then what is the, how can we find it? So one way to find is that we can send this job to uh, background. And how to do that? You could run Control Z. So Control Z would stop this job. Okay, means it's like kind of suspended job now. And after that, you run the command bg. Bg command will then run this command again in background. You can see the ampersand sign has come now automatically, and this job number is 3 19539. That's how you can send any job to background. Now let's bring this job back again to foreground. So you can run fg and then you give percent and then you give percent and then you give this number 3. Okay, 3. And now you can see you can run this job in the foreground, but this job has been now finished. That's why you cannot send this job to foreground because job was finished. So let's try again. Okay, so we do Control Z, suspended. Now run BG. Now job is on in the background. Run PS. Now you can see job is now running, and you can do FG percent 3. And now you can see the job is now running in foreground again. Okay, that's how you can do. Now we can kill this job also by Control C. So Control C will kill this job. Now if I run PS again, you will see the job has been killed. You can also kill other process by kill command. For example, if I want to kill 13969, I can run kill command 69 enter. So now if you run PS again, you can see that 13969 has been now killed. So that way you can also kill other process also. Okay. Don't kill the bash process, otherwise it will close the terminal itself. Okay. So this is the concept of foreground job and the background job. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. I'll explain it. Okay. Now we move to the next topic called shell control operators. So the first shell control operator is called list terminator. You can run command 1 and then semicolon command 2. So this way, this would be a first Unix command and then separated by a semicolon second Unix command. And yeah, what it does, the first command will run first in foreground. Okay, and once it is done means whether it fails or it runs successfully, it doesn't matter. Then only the second command will run after that. Okay, this is the flow. Now let's try something. Run, let's say sleep. Uh, let's say 3 seconds, and then we run echo. Done. Let's try again. So for 3 seconds now, this the job is running in the foreground, and then you can see now my done command has been run afterwards. So this is that. Now let's check this one. So if I run ls no file, so this is a standard error, right? So let's check that ls no file, and then here I will say echo oops and run again, and you can see the first is the standard error, and after that you got your uh, second command. This is about uh, list terminator. Now I have another command called another operator is use the AND operator and check this one command 1 and operator command 2. Here the first command is launched in background and second command starts running in the foreground immediately without waiting for command 1 to exit. Okay, so let's check. So if I run sleep 5 seconds and here I will do end and here I will run, let's say, echo I am running. Okay, now run enter. So what I explained this time, this command will run in the background and this will run immediately without waiting for this to finish. So let's check. So you can see it is running in background and now I am running, it is also running immediately. Let me explain the third command, which is called logical end. So if I run cmd1 and 2 ampersand sign cmd2. So basically here logical end is basically the command 2 will only run if the command 1 is successful. Successful means exit status 0. I'll explain you what is exit status. If you run ls, uh, let's say readme, this file exists, so it will run. So you can see there is no error. So I can run echo dollar question mark. Echo dollar question mark will return the exit status of previous run command, which is ls readme. If I enter, I get 0. 0 means successful run. So this is what you have to check. So basically when you run cmd1, cmd2, if the cmd1 which is the first command, if it is successful, then only command 2 will run. So let's check this command. If we run the same command ls readme, and now we can run echo high. So you can see that because the first command runs successfully, and that's why after that second command ran. So let's make it unsuccessful and check again. So if I run ls no file, which doesn't exist, if I run again, you can see that there's a standard error for the first command. That's why second command did not run. Just opposite for this concept, there is another command which is called logical OR operator. Okay, so what is it? So let's check. So if I run cmd1 logical OR cmd2, in this case, if the first command is failed, then only the second will run. If the first command passes, then command 2 will not run, just opposite to the previous command. So let's make it fail first. So how to make it fail? We do ls no file and then you do the logical OR and then run let's say echo high. So because the first one fails, that's why second will run, as you can see. Now if I make the first command run successful, called it readme, then the second command will not run because the first was successful. So this is logical OR. Let's go to the our another operator which is commonly used by many people. It's called pipe operator. Symbol is pipe sign. So the idea is that the command 1 and then pipe command 2. So the command 1, whatever the output of the command 1 is generated, the standard output, that will be of it to the command 2 as a standard input. And if you have command 3, the standard output of command 2 will be then fed to the input of command 3. This is how it works. So let's take one example and check. So if I run, okay, so let's check how it works. Okay, so if I run ls, you know ls, right? ls gives you this listing. You can run ls grep and let's say grep f1, and you can see that simply it grabbed this name. So this is the pipe sign. So the first command ls, the input, this list went to the, or string went to this grep command, and then grep ran on f1, so you got only f1. Okay, this is pipe. Let me give you one more interesting example. So for example, let's say there is a file has these lines a c c c b b. So let's say if I want to get the output a and c, I want to get output second and third line using pipe operator. How can I do? So I can simply run cat file pipe, use the head command, head minus 3. So first three lines will come first. First three lines will come with this line, and on those three lines A C, I have to get last two, right? Second, third line. So here I will write tail minus 2. Tail minus 2 will fetch these two lines. Now we'll check they got the output. So this is how you run pipe. Okay, now quickly move to the another topic. The next topic is called standard error. Standard error, stderr. The the reserved number for this error is 2. Then we have stdout, which is standard output. The reserved number for this is 1, and for reserved number for input standard input is 0. Okay, this is a UNIX standard number given to the descriptor number for these. Okay, now let me show you how it works. So let's say if I run ls, no file, right? No file doesn't exist, right? So the the command didn't run, it failed. Hence, you get the standard error. This is a standard error. Okay. And how to check the exit status? We run echo dollar question mark. Sorry, echo dollar question mark. You see the standard error. The exit status would be non-zero. That is 2. That means it was an error. Okay. How can you transfer this exit status to a file? You can run ls. Obviously, no file because we want to generate error. Then write 2. I told you there is descriptor number 2, and then you run forward arrow, which is redirection, and let's call it f1. Okay, so you can see the error didn't come on the shell, but it went to the f1 file. This there. Similarly, if I run for standard output, so call it readme. The readme is on here, but you can also do 1 f2. If you do f2, you will see the output has gone to this file. You can also remove it 1 because that's the same meaning, so it will the same output. You can see again readme, and yeah, this is how you can check standard output and standard error. Okay, now the last topic for today is here document and here string. Here document runs on multiple lines. So for example, I'll take one example and explain you. So let's say if I'm running a sed command and I'm substituting small a with capital A, okay, globally, G. And here I have, here document I also spoke in the last class or maybe in cat session. Here I have to give some here document which is a tag. So let's call this tag is I don't know, call it capital here, for example. Now after that, what I have to do is I have to uh, give multiple lines to it. Okay, so let's, if I hit enter, I go to the next line, and here I can pass any string. So let me call a string as bbaac, and let me give another example, a and then z. Okay, after that, last, after hitting last enter, you pass the same tag again to terminate. So after termination, you can see the first line has a substitution of set on all the a's, and the second line also has a substitution of one a to capital A. This is called here document. Now what is here string? Here string is similar, but the only difference is in here string you have to pass three arrow and only give one string as an input. You cannot give multiple lines. Okay, so here I will say, let's say a and bb, and if I hit enter again, you can see that my small, all the small a's are now converted to capital A. This is just one side command, but you can try any other command of Unix to check this functionality. Yeah, this is it guys. I hope you liked this video and you have learned something new today. Feel free to comment, feel free to share this video to other friends, and yeah, keep learning. Thank you.